Guys, it's Melissa, and today I wanted to start a series on here of makeup for beginners. So the first one I thought I'd tackle is eyeshadow. So I was thinking it might be like a two-part thing, and I was going to start with talking about neutral eye looks and then move on to talking about more colorful eye looks and how to choose colors and that kind of thing. So if that sounds interesting, please do stick around. Make sure you follow me on all of my socials, Melissa Celine Beauty everywhere. I've already put some foundation on. Normally I do my eyes first, but because I just kind of want to get in and do the eyes today, I went ahead and did my foundation. But I haven't done anything else, concealer, powder, any of that. It's literally just foundation on my face right now and my brows. I've sorted my brows. So first things first, I can't stress this enough, is eye primer. Eye primer, eye primer, eye primer. You don't want to spend all your time doing an eye look and then just to have it crease and fade away and go away, or your color payoff not to be as good because you didn't put down a good canvas. It doesn't have to be super expensive. I'm going to show you my 3 favorite eye primers, and they're at different price points. The Sigma eyeshadow base is my favorite, but it's kind of like an eyeshadow stick is the way it works. You just twist it up. This one is great for keeping that oil at bay and keeping, like, your eyeshadow will be locked in for hours and hours. If you're on more of a budget, the Milani eyeshadow primer, it's more of a liquid. You just squeeze out a little bitty bit, and like literally that's how much you would need to do both eyes. And then the last one is an oldie but a goodie. It's the MAC Painterly Paint Pot, and this one is like a little pot. It's a cream eyeshadow. I don't find that it lasts as long as the Milani or the Sigma. So I'm going to go ahead and put on my Sigma base today. This is in the shade Persuade. And I literally, it's as simple as that. I just swipe it over the lid. Blend it out with my finger. I do like 3 little swipes. And then blend it out. I blend all the way up to my eyebrow there. And that's it. That's your eyes primed, ready to go. The next thing I want to talk about is the kind of palette I would suggest for a beginner. And if you're just getting started, I would start with neutral tones. And there are palettes that are great that have both colors and neutral tones. But today I'm just going to talk about some neutral palettes. Hey guys, it's Editing Melissa here. And I just wanted to let you know that that Forget Me Not palette from Blend Bunny that I'm about to talk about is no longer available. I couldn't find it on their website, and I don't know if it's coming back. I wanted to go ahead and leave the footage in because it's still good information about picking a neutral palette. But unfortunately, you won't be able to get that exact palette. So I'm sorry about that, guys. It's a big bummer. So the first one I'm going to suggest is the Blend Bunny Forget Me Not palette. This is a beautiful, it's got a big mirror. This is a beautiful neutral palette. It's got big pans because you can use some of them for highlight or contour on your face as well as on the eyes. It's all mattes except for the bottom row of different shimmers down there. So you can absolutely, this is probably my favorite black in my collection is from this palette. This one is a really versatile palette. Absolutely love this one. My next favorite is probably the Beauty Bay Neutral. Now these come in different pan sizes, so you can get the big one, the 42 pan, or you can get, like I think I got this one free with a purchase of another one. So I've got the little baby version of this palette too. They come with a huge mirror. Look at all those colors. And this has cool tones. It has warm tones. It's even got some pinky, mauvey, purpley in there. Like, it's got every neutral tone you could ever want. And Beauty Bay's formula is absolutely beautiful. They do ship from the UK, so it takes a little bit longer to get them. This one is a little 9 pan, and it's got all they're mattes, and it's got the beautiful black in here. So just to recap, when you're looking for a palette, look for something that has a range of shadows from light neutrals to deep neutrals to black, has a good black in it. Look for a palette that has a mix of shimmers and mattes. And you can get a palette on any price point. Brands like ColourPop, e.l.f., Beauty Bay, Blend Bunny are all wonderful brands that are on the more affordable side. Okay, so now I want to talk brushes. Brushes are just as important as the shadows themselves. You don't need to break the bank to get good ones. So I do have a range of brushes, from more inexpensive brushes. Some of them are my absolute favorite brushes that I own. And then I have some that are a little bit higher price point, but not super expensive. So the first, I've got 5 brushes here that I think are super important. 5 types of brushes that I think are super important to be able to craft pretty much any eye look. So first one, I use this. This is a Profusion ES6 small pointed eyeshadow. It's like a small fluffy eyeshadow brush, but this one is small and pretty dense. And I use this to pack the color on. The other type of brush you could use for this is like a flat traditional eyeshadow brush. I own a couple of these, but honestly I like to never use them. I very rarely use them, and I don't usually use them to pack color on. I like a small little dense blendy type brush personally. A blending brush, absolutely 100%. Maybe the most important eyeshadow brush that there is your blending brush. This is the Sigma E25. I've lost count of how many of these I own. I like this one because I feel like it's got some precision. You're gonna need, if you want to do eyeshadow looks where you put eyeshadow underneath the eye, I really love this brush. This is a smudge brush from e.l.f. I think this brush is like $3 to $5. But any kind of small, like this one from Real Techniques is good too. It's a little short, stubby, fluffy brush for putting eyeshadow under the eye. This one is a pencil brush from Sigma. I think it's literally called their pencil brush. But you can get any pencil brush, and it's just small and pointy, and I like this for getting into the inner corner and doing a little bit of highlight moment there. And then last but not least, if you want to start to try lining, like with your black eyeshadow, doing some eyeliner, a little angle brush like this. So those are the 5 types of brushes. Most important, one to place eyeshadow, one to blend eyeshadow. So I went ahead and zoomed you in, and I am going to choose 3 shades to create this look. You're going to need 3 different shadows to create this look. You're going to want kind of a mid-tone neutrally shade, a deeper shade, and then like a light shimmer. I'm going to use my little Profusion brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Slip with it, which is like a mid-tone shade that's just a little bit deeper than my skin tone. And I'm going to start by placing my shadow up here because I have slightly hooded eyes. So I'm going to put my crease color up high. If you dig it into the crease like that, then it disappears when your eyes are open. You won't be able to see it. So I always start a little bit higher, and then I slowly blend it in to the inside. I want some more color. If I want to go back into this color, see how I'm kind of tapping it in, and then I kind of blend it out. So I always start at the same place and then blend it to where you want it to be. So now I'm going to switch brushes. I'm going to grab my Sigma E25, my blending brush here. I'm going to hold it at the very end. You can even stick out your pinky like this, just so you're very light. And then with just like little back and forth, little blendy, I'm going to move my brush in little circles, kind of little back and forth motion. And I'm just going to blend that shadow up toward the brow bone. I'm happy with where this shade is at. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Next, I'm going to go into my deepest shade, and I'm going to go in with Cowboy, and I'm going to start out here in the outer corner. You always want to place your brush where you want the most color. So I'm going to start out here in the outer corner because that's where I want the most color. And I'm going to kind of tap it and work towards the inner half of the lid. And then you can start blending it, tapping it into that crease where you've got your first color that you put. And then I'm going to go back in. Tap it. Tap it, tap it, tap it. Bring it up into the crease just a little bit. Because again, you want, especially if you have slightly hooded eyes or hooded eyes, then you want to be able to see that color when you open your eyes. So you want to take it onto that outer part of the lid, but also up into the crease just a little bit. Now I'm going to, I was just kind of using a tapping motion. Now I'm going to grab that same blending brush that I was using. And I'm just going to blend, 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 blend. Little bitty circular motions. I'm going to blend those two colors together. So I'm going to blend that deeper shade into the more mid-tone shade. I want to kind of fade out the edges. You don't want any harsh lines unless you're doing liner. But other than liner, you don't want harsh lines. You want soft, like somebody's turned the focus off a little bit. To where you can't necessarily pinpoint where one shadow starts and one ends. I would say when you're doing eyeshadow, you're going to spend the most time blending. So now that I've done the deeper color in the outside, I'm going to go in with a shimmer on the inside. And I'm using the shade Doll from the palette, which is like a shimmery nude. And I'm just going to use my finger, because I found that like nothing applies a shimmer quite like your fingers do. And kind of blend it with a little bit of tapping. Then I'm just going to get my blending brush, and I'm just going to kind of buff out those edges. Buff the shimmer into the matte there. The further out that you hold the brush, the less pressure you're going to apply. So when you're blending, you want a very light hand. So at this point, normally I wouldn't have already had my foundation on, but I do today, so I'm just going to go straight in with concealer. So I'm going to grab my concealer, and I'm going to put a little dot on the inside and a little dot on the outside here. And this is just like an extra step. You don't have to mess with this if you don't want to. But if you want to kind of have that cat eye lift effect, take a flat brush like this, a little concealer brush that's flat. I'm going to start at the lower lash line and follow an invisible line that goes up towards my temple. And I'm just going to drag that brush up. And that's going to make sure that I haven't blended below my lower lash line, which would drag the eye down. This is going to pull the eye upwards. And then I'm just going to go in with my fluffy concealer brush and finish kind of tapping that out. So I went ahead and finished off the rest of my complexion, did a little blush, did a little powder. Now I'm back to the eyes. So this is an extra step. You can totally skip this step, put a little bit of mascara on, call it a day. You could be done. I'm going to go back into the neutral palette, and I'm going to go back to that deepest shade, the Cowboy shade. And I'm just going to put this right up against the lash line with my little smudgy brush, the e.l.f. smudge brush. And I'm just going to run that right along the lower lash line. And then I'm going to take my blending brush and just kind of smudge it out. Then I'm going to take my little pencil brush. I know I said it's only 3 shades. You can totally skip this step. But I really like an inner corner highlight. So I'm going to go in with the shade Saddle, which is like a white shimmer. I'm just going to pick it up on my little pencil brush and put that. There's that spot right there in the inner corner that really likes to catch a shadow. So I like to put a little bit of highlight right there. Just going to go in with my mascara. I'm using the Thrive Cosmetics mascara. It's my favorite mascara. And I'm just using it in the brown shade. My dog is curled up on my foot and it's the sweetest thing ever. So that's the finished look. Really quick, really simple. So I hope you liked this video. Let me know, leave me a like, give me a comment. Let me know if this is something you want to see more of, because like I said, I was thinking about doing a series. Again, you can follow me on all my social media at Melissa Celine Beauty everywhere. And have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you later. Bye!